Is she's okay?
I guess it'll work. That fire was a pain in the ass to get going. Can't really see the stars, but they're out. Hunt camp. So we missed a couple whitetails and a muley yesterday. So we hiked in a couple miles from where we jumped those. And I just showed you what we're looking at. I think we got a nice trifecta of canyons kind of coming together right here. So we're going to kind of set this out and see if anything wanders through. We're just going to sit for about an hour or two. Do a lot of glassing. I forgot my binos, so we only got one set of binoculars to look through. Junior didn't grab his pack, so he ain't got a back rest. Bring it back when we see something. I think he might have just bedded down. Oh no, there he is. He looks like a dew point. I might mag zoom. That might have been the guy from yesterday. God damn it. So we went after that 3-point. He might have been a 4-point. I couldn't see in between his antlers all that well. But yeah, we tried to head him off, and he gave us a slip. He's a smart guy. I assumed he was going to go climb up and out of the valley. I think what he did is he got into the trees and just went straight. Yeah, we lost sight of him. Couldn't even find tracks. So we moved about half a mile or so up the valley. Sat down again. We're going to see if anything is moving around. It's getting warm. So I think stuff is going to start bedding down here before too long. We seen another buck. Like he seen us. We were watching the first one, and I looked over, and there's another 3-pointer standing on the hillside just staring at us. So we were kind of painted into a corner. Them two deer didn't even know each other was there. Thankfully, he took off up a different canyon away from us, so he didn't scare any of the other deer off. if we find something.
Relatively brand new artists.
So we're like out here in the middle of nowhere, right? And I'm like, what the heck is that stand right out there? There is a fire extinguisher, not a fire extinguisher, fire hydrant, just out in the middle of this field. Obviously didn't do his job because the damn, half the trees are, most of the trees are burned up. But there's I think there used to be a town site right here, which would explain a lot. The old highway bridge, road bridge, I'm sorry. The abutment for it, anyways. A lot of cool and crazy stuff that we're finding way out here. Pretty neat. Decided to poke in on this 2-track here. Started off way down there, and yeah, this thing's steep. Like we actually came up through this canyon, this valley right here, and I've been in low range first gear for the last 20 minutes because, well, that's what the trail's been demanding. For the most part, we've been able to get around everywhere in 2-wheel drive, but this stuff is just not gonna happen in 2-wheel drive. Beautiful views up here, though. It's everywhere you look. Beautiful views. Might have to come back up here and do some camping. It's hard to gauge how steep this stuff is, but it's not shallow. We did kick up a white-tailed buck in here. We weren't expecting to see him, especially where he was. So we're gonna kind of ease. We made so much noise coming up. We're gonna take our time and ease our way down and try to make as little noise as possible. And hopefully we can kick something up. My bad knee is just throbbing. We've done about 6 miles today and some pretty rough stuff. So yeah, knee's not feeling too good about hiking anymore through this kind of stuff. So we're just kind of poke around on this 2-track and see what we can kick up. See ya when we find something interesting. So people, don't do this shit at campsites. Like seriously. Like we were gonna camp right here, like we did last weekend, but some dickhead shot something and just threw the damn carcass down there, which is illegal. Not just dumping. Yeah, we're not gonna camp here now because of that. So we gotta go we're gonna find somewhere else to go. Don't be a dick. Oh. Ooh. Camp. We have picnic area. Such a fat kid. Hold on, let me finish my smoke. It's about the best level spot that we could find here. It's supposed to get some rain while we're here, so I didn't want to be parked down there. I didn't want to tear up the grass. Yeah, This will work. And that's our neighbor. He's close enough. Sweet. James and I were gonna go drive to a spot to hop out for deer, and we cut some elk running across the trail. Well, not too far that direction is a county road, and I don't think they're gonna jump that. It's like, if I can quit doing that, we might see something. I took off running out of them after them, because they were already on the run. I thought I could cut them off. It was just a small group of them, maybe about 8. Looked like one spike, one bull, and five or 6 cows. I can only shoot spike and cow in here. But I figured they were already running when we seen them. There's a chance that they're gonna want to water after all that running. So we're sitting on a pretty high flowing spring right now. They went off that direction. I'm thinking they're gonna come back this way. The wind is kind of in our favor, but not really. We'll find out. Been a pretty exciting morning. Granted, last night kind of sucked. We had to move camp, but we found a better one. We're supposed to get wind and rain come Monday, so we're pretty sheltered where we're at. And the roads are going to turn to mush, so we can get out. So, anyways, I'm going to go back to work. Hopefully we can get one. So, we know where the elk went. Some other hunters shooting at them. We put like 20 rounds into one already. Or maybe put 2 in all of them. I don't know. We're walking back to the truck in a different way. And this is where it pays to be observant. Aware of your surroundings. Yes, a hole in the ground. But you probably can't see it. There's with the remnants of a beehive in there. This was dug up by a bear. They're not grizzlies, they're black bears up here, but still all the same. Frog. There's bears up here. And apparently frogs too. Yeah. Always gotta be observant and watch for the things. Yep. So the elk are gone. They never stopped running. I was kind of hoping they would have hit the brakes once they got into that timber because of the county road, but they must have got across the county road. That being said, we had a 2x3 buck walk like 10 feet from me. I'm laying on the ground on the backside of a log, and he walked right up in front of me. We locked eyes. I'm trying to get James's attention, but he couldn't see me because the sun was in his face. He ran off. Whew, getting warm. But it was a good spot definitely worth going back to. We can get to it quicker coming in from the bottom. So we might hit that first thing in the morning. Looks like there's been a lot of traffic through there. So we're gonna head back to the truck. And I'm gassed. I bailed out of the truck at like Mach 30 Jesus. My phone hit the ground. I just yelled at James, get my phone. And he called it Forrest Gumping. Because I was at a full sprint for about quarter to third mile. Which for most people isn't a big deal, but you gotta realize I'm fat, I'm broken, and I'm a smoker. So, and we're at like 4,000 feet ish, which isn't normally a big deal, but I'm like dodging these dirt mounds and fallen trees and things all over the place while I was running. But no, they kind of scattered. They went where I thought they were going to, then they just kind of broke apart. They got really hard to track, which tells me they've been chased before. They know what they're doing. So we're gonna go back to the truck and go back to the original plan. Hopefully we can get some brown down. I'd love another chance at them elk. I was so stunned to see elk. I was like, elk in the truck, and I just watched them run across the road. That's not going to happen again. So, I'll bring you guys back when we find cool stuff. So the sit rep is done and out.
I stand by what I said.
What's that? That it was great that when you put your slippers on that they were warm?
Yes.
Such a dork. Yeah, we are totally cheating. Got all the lights. Oh, yeah. Oh. Lap of luxury in the mountain. Yep. It's probably, it feels like it's like 65 degrees in here. Perfect. Well, James got his deer. I did not get it filmed. I could not get a good angle at it. One shot drop, 180 grain, 30-06. It was he got part of the lung, tagged the lower portion of its spine, dropped it right in its tracks. He was pretty excited. Standing shot, just not far out of camp. So, hey, it works. We then proceeded to go to a prairie dog town that we had found out here, and tried to shoot some of them. We failed at that. They're trained. They know not to pop up inside of 100 yards. And we're trying to lob 22 rounds at them. It wasn't, well, we were unsuccessful. So that concludes this hunting trip. Our next outing may be with Will or a coworker of mine. They got tags to fill and wanting to get out. So I might be the chaperone for them guys. Time will tell. Yeah, we brought all the stuff to be camped out here for an entire 4 days, and we were here for just a standard weekend, which is fine. We contemplated staying an extra day just cause, but the less vacation time that I use, the better. And he's not getting paid for vacation, so he'd be taking that time off unpaid, and that's no fun. So anyway, I will include pictures of the deer right here. Nothing fancy, but you know, he's proud of it. First standing shot with a high caliber rifle he's done on an animal, so improvement. especially for him with his nystagmus, kind of a hurdle that we've been working on to get over. So anyways, we will see you when we see you again next. Later.